In the Four Corners Desert, there are places where you can look for miles and miles and see nothing alive. Until something moves out there. At first you think it's a coyote, until it stands up, on 2 feet. Encounters like this are reported more often in one part of the American Southwest than almost anywhere else, the desert region known as the Four Corners. In Navajo tradition, stories of skinwalkers often begin with an encounter like this. The Four Corners region, where Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado meet, sits in the heart of Navajo land, where the skinwalker warning has existed for generations. And across the American Southwest, there are still places where people say they walk the land. For the Dene people, known to the outside world as the Navajo, the world is built on balance, harmony with the land, harmony with the spirit world, harmony with each other. This balance is called Hozo. It's a way of living that respects the sacred order of things. But within every culture that teaches harmony, there are also admonitions, warnings about what happens when someone chooses to break that balance. In Navajo tradition, the skinwalker is not a monster from another world. It's something far more disturbing, a human being who's chosen to cross a forbidden line. In the Navajo language, the name often associated with these figures is Yee Naaldlooshii. Roughly translated, it means, "With it he goes on all fours." The term refers to a witch who has gained the power to transform, to become something other than human. In Navajo tradition, this path is called the Witchery Way. I explored the Witchery Way in much greater detail in my previous Skinwalker video. I'll leave a link below for anyone who wants to learn more. Those who follow it are referred to as Navajo witches. The Witchery Way doesn't represent Navajo spirituality as a whole, it represents a corruption of it. Where traditional Navajo medicine is built around healing, protection, and restoration, the Witchery Way is a deliberate misuse of spiritual knowledge. Stories describe figures that can take the shape of animals, coyote, wolf, owl, creatures that move silently through the desert night. But what makes these stories unsettling is not simply the idea of transformation, it's the suggestion that these beings still retain human intelligence and human intention. People have told stories of something running alongside a moving vehicle, of voices calling out from the darkness, imitating someone you know, of shapes watching quietly from the ridges above a lonely road. These stories aren't new, they've been whispered about across the Southwest for generations. Stories like these were never meant to entertain, they were meant to warn. The path of the Witchery Way represents a deliberate rejection of harmony. It's the choice of power over balance, control over responsibility, dominion over the lives of others. Someone who walks that path is believed to use harmful power against their own community, bringing sickness, fear, and misfortune wherever they go. That's why the warning matters, because once someone chooses that path, everyone around them is in danger. Everyone around them becomes prey. And some people believe those warnings were never just stories. Even today, travelers and ranchers in parts of the Four Corners still report encounters that are difficult to explain. Ranchers have described hearing coyotes circling their livestock late at night, only to look out across the fence line and see a shape standing upright in the darkness. In some cases, those reports reach tribal investigators. One of those investigators, Navajo Ranger Stanley Milford, Jr., described a night when something ran beside his car on a lonely reservation road. Even as he accelerated, it kept pace with his vehicle, then leaped the fence and came within a few feet of the passenger door. Milford later said the thing running beside his car was white from head to toe and built like a large greyhound, with glowing orange eyes. When he told his father what had happened, his father's response was immediate. That was a skinwalker. Navajo tradition teaches of restoration. When imbalance enters the world, there are ways to bring harmony back. Medicine men and medicine women perform ceremonies designed to restore spiritual balance. Through prayer, through ritual, through the guidance of generations of knowledge. These ceremonies are not about defeating monsters. They're about restoring harmony to the world, even when the boundary between the natural and the unnatural has been crossed. The Skinwalker warning was never only about the unnatural. It was about choice. Almost every ancient culture has taught that power without balance can destroy people. Yee Naaldlooshii simply gives that warning a name. The warning was never forgotten, passed down through generations for a reason. The Four Corners is where four states meet, yes, but it's also a place where a people named a warning for a living danger. And some people are grateful that warning still exists today.